Labor to tax you on money you don't have.
This tax was announced in I think it was February 2003. It's a horrible tax. It's designed badly.
The Labor government is trying to introduce a tax where you have to pay tax on unrealised gains. Well, what the hell does that mean?
It breaches all sorts of design principles of simplicity, of transparency. The fact that it can be charged on unrealised gains is just despicable. And it is applicable outside the superannuation system. It lays a template to go after the own home, any assets. It's essentially a wealth tax.
Let's say you buy a property, and that property is worth $500,000, and in 1 year it goes up by $50,000. They are going to tax you on that $50,000 increase, even though you haven't sold the property. Like, how the hell does that work? They're going to get you to pay a tax when you don't have the money to pay the tax. Now, the way that they're going to sneak this in is they're bringing it in inside of super, and they're saying, look, this is only going to apply to super balances above $3 million. But here's the cloak and dagger strategy, right? What the government always does is they introduce a tax, there's always a big uproar, people fight over it, it makes the headlines, people talk about it, but then people get used to it and they get desensitized, and it no longer makes any headlines. And then what do? They broaden the base that the tax applies to. So the first thing they'll do is they'll probably lower the threshold. Oh, it's not 3 million, now it's 2 million. Oh, now it's 1 million. So they lower the threshold. Then eventually they will get this to apply outside of super. This is evil, guys. How the hell can you tax someone when they have not realized the gain? There is no money to pay you, but pay me anyway. Because assets can fluctuate in value. There has to be a liquidation event in order for you to pay tax. What does that mean? You sell the asset, it's now worth, you've made $1 million, you pay tax on the $1 million. That's fair. What they're saying is, no. If you own an asset, you pay me no matter what. I don't care if you don't have the money, sell it and pay tax. That is crazy. Oh, it's the worst tax that could possibly come in. And the worst part about this is because they're saying it's only on balances 3 million above. I was watching a TV show the other day. There's a woman on there and she's like, this is not what super was created for. It wasn't created for people to build wealth. It was created to fund your retirement. Like, are you stupid? The way that you fund your retirement is you put a small amount in, only 10%, 9% of your income, and you invest that and it increases in value. That's the mechanism of super. And she's saying that's not why super was created. This is something we need to be mindful of, guys. Because once they introduce this, in the end, you are going to pay tax on unrealized gains on everything. That's where this will go. It might take them 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, but they will get there, guys. Right? So it has to be stopped. You can't do this. They're saying, it only affects the small people and they're the rich. And that's right. Everyone hates the rich. Everyone's jealous of the rich. So let's attack the rich. Let's penalize people who've worked their asses off, people who are successful. Penalize the successful. Punish them for being successful. $3 million sounds like a lot, but if you buy a couple of properties, 2, 3 properties, you leave them in your super over time, you'll get to 3 million, guys. And then you know what the government says? Give me my money. That doesn't work, it doesn't scale. So everyone's got to fight against this. You cannot allow this to come into place, right? For me, the government does not deserve a pay increase. The government is terrible at managing money. Why? Because it's not their money. Money just magically comes from your taxes and they spend it on whatever they want, right? They suck at spending money. They can't balance a budget. They never have a surplus. They get, what they should prove to the Australian people is that there's no need to increase taxes. The money that we have, the budget that we get, the money that we get, it's enough. And show us that you can balance the budget. Show us that you can produce better services. Show us that you can do more with the money that you have. When I do sessions with families, especially around budgeting, looking at household income and expenditure, one of the things that stands out is there's only ever 2 problems when it comes to money. The first problem is people don't earn enough. There's very few people in that category in Australia because people earn good money, right? Then on the other side, there's people just don't know how to manage their money. And if you look at it from a government perspective, the government earns plenty of cash, they just suck at managing the money. What they need to focus on, rather than taking more of my money, more of your money, more of all everyday Australians' money, is they need to get better at managing the money that they have. Work on that, show us some results on that, and do not come for more taxes.